Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our first briefing of 2025 and the 82nd episode of In the Trenches, Kroll's weekly cyber threat intelligence briefing. Today is the 6th of January, and my name is George Glass, an Associate Managing Director in the Cyber Threat Intelligence team. Joining me today from the team is Ryan Hicks. As always, we will be covering the most recent trends our threat intelligence team is witnessing in the trenches. So let's get into the situation report. Researchers at VulnCheck have reported that threat actors are exploiting a post-authentication remote code injection vulnerability in Four-Faith F3x24 and F3x36 routers. Tracked as CVE 2024-12856, to open reverse shells back to the attackers. Typically deployed in energy and utilities, transportation, telecommunications, and manufacturing sectors, many routers are configured with default credentials, which are easy to brute force. After the device is compromised, the attackers may modify its configuration files for persistence, explore the network for other devices to pivot to, or generally escalate the attack. The act of exploitation was reported to Four-Faith on December 20th. However, it is unclear if security updates for the vulnerability are currently available. Census reports that there are currently 15,000 internet-facing Four-Faith routers that could become targets. Secondly, the threat actor IntelBroker has claimed responsibility for leaking the source code of the South Korean Ministry of Environment. The source code likely pertains to software systems used to manage critical environmental data, including pollution monitoring, climate change initiatives, and regulatory compliance. Unauthorized access to such systems could enable malicious actors to manipulate data, disrupt operations, or exploit vulnerabilities with further attacks. The breach also raises concerns about the exposure of sensitive information related to South Korea's environmental policies and international agreements. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, please get in touch with us using cti@kroll.com. So let's get into today's stories. Today, we're going to cover the following stories that our team is concentrating on. I'll be covering an attack on BeyondTrust and its customers, including the US Treasury, and Ryan will be talking about a supply chain attack affecting dozens of Chrome plugins. So let's talk about this breach. BeyondTrust, a cybersecurity vendor specializing in privileged access management, has reported that they experienced a significant security incident in December 2024. The incident involved unauthorized access to BeyondTrust remote support SaaS instances and the theft of an API key, leading to a series of breaches at BeyondTrust customer sites, including the US Treasury Department. As part of their investigation into the attack, BeyondTrust discovered two vulnerabilities in their privileged remote access and remote support products. Those are on the screen there. That's CVE 2024-12356 with a CVSS score of 9.8. That's a command injection flaw. And CVE 2024-12686, CVSS score of 6.6. And that allows attackers with administrative privileges to inject commands and upload malicious files. Regarding further breaches, BeyondTrust confirmed that the threat actors leverage access to their systems to attack other organizations. The US Treasury released the following statement, quote, "On December 8th, 2024, Treasury was notified by a third-party service provider, BeyondTrust, that a threat actor had gained access to a key used by the vendor to secure a cloud-based service used to remotely provide technical support for the Treasury Department offices." The US Treasury further stated that the intrusion was attributed to a Chinese adversary, and it's working with CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and the FBI and wider intelligence community to determine the overall impact. Because of the high-level access that BeyondTrust tools provide, it's likely that BeyondTrust was targeted because the threat actor knew the level of access they would gain to its customers. It's unclear how many customers have been affected or exactly what follow-on actions the threat actor took once they had achieved access, but BeyondTrust has contacted customers that are affected by this incident. Next, I'll hand over to Ryan to talk about supply chain attacks on Chrome extensions. Over to you, Ryan.
Thanks, George. So yeah, in the last week of December, Cyberhaven reported that their Chrome extension had been compromised with malicious code inserted. This code sought to exfiltrate cookies, sessions, and other browser credentials whenever a page was opened on an affected system. The company noted that the attack was enabled through a phishing attack on one of their employees, which gave the active credentials to their Google Chrome store. Therefore, the ability to upload the malicious code and the phishing email they provided is shown on the right there. On the same day, the Kroll's Security Operations Center also observed similar behavior, but from a end user perspective, whereby a different legitimate extension was updated to also include the same malicious code. So the extension was observed by us attempting to connect to the IP address, the 149 IP address noted there, and that was hosting the malicious domain that was used to send back the gathered information. And this IP address was also used or noted by Cyberhaven during their reporting as well. Both the extensions were updated on December 25th, which appears to be the point of introduction for the malicious code. Next slide, please. So there's the extension in question that we observed on the right, the legitimate store page. You see the mimicked domain in the first bullet point, bookmark fc.info. A more recent update appeared for this extension on December 30th, likely to remove the malicious code as developers were made aware of this. So we conducted further investigation into the IP itself and identified an additional list of domains hosted on that IP, which are also mimicking other browser extensions. And a full list of those are available in our full weekly report. And the range of those extensions just kind of displays the widespread or potential widespread impact to a range of users, particularly as some of the extensions have quite a large user base and ranging kind of in the hundreds of thousands and upwards. It's worth noting here some of the mimicked extensions have domains registered, but hadn't actually been updated on the Chrome store for a number of months before the campaign, which either suggests that there's a kind of a preemptive domain registration for future compromise, or perhaps more likely a sign that the threat actor was unsuccessful in phishing for credentials in the first place. So they kind of set up the domain and have not actually been successful to get access. Next slide, please. So we also did some additional research with an intelligence partner into additional context surrounding the IP, the malicious IP. Looking into the NetFlow data surrounding that address, there's also a series of connections from 91 unique IP addresses from the same subnet starting from December 5th. And these all correlate through registration info to the same organization, which is a university in Ghana. Prior to the campaign, these addresses connected to the malicious IP through SSH, and some form of commands and data was sent successfully, possibly showing signs of sort of configuration setup for the campaign ahead. And the combination of this, kind of the timing of the activity, size of data, and persistence suggests that the malicious IP, or sorry, suggests that the threat actor is a kind of a single individual operating from that subnet. However, there's not enough evidence really at the time to confirm whether that's down to a misuse of the subnet by a legitimate user, or perhaps the threat actor has previously compromised that organization. So unclear with the information we have available at the time. So overall recommendations, the key kind of indicator there, the 149, ensuring that blocking of that only hosts those malicious domains. So that's the kind of a key point there. And also ensure affected extensions have been updated to the latest version if there is a post malicious code fix. If no fixed version is available, recommend kind of removing the extension, waiting for a further updates since this campaign took place. That's all for me. Hand back to you, George.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And that's all we have time for this week. If you have any questions or comments, please do reach out to us using cti@kroll.com. That's cti@kroll.com. Have a great day.